Hi and welcome. I'm Megan, and today I will be channeling another collective soul reading. And I wanted to start today with some messages that I received both via dream and then via meditation. So, first, in my dream, I had this very interesting dream where I was in some sort of vehicle and I was traveling along the countryside. It was rolling hills with pine trees, just extremely beautiful. And I remember expressing the gratitude for being in such a beautiful place. And as we traveled down the mountainside, there was this beautiful lake, like a mountain lake, pure, fresh, and clean. But it became apparent that as we were traveling down, we were building speed and we were moving fast. And at some point, the vehicle became a boat. And as we were approaching the lake, there was this big stone ramp. And it was apparent that we were hitting this ramp fast and that we were going to crash into the lake. And the boat rocketed off the ramp. And while we were in midair, we were kind of moving sideways. And then all of a sudden the boat flipped and we were under the water and we had crashed. And it was scary and there were people everywhere. And at one moment I was covered by the boat and I was afraid that I wasn't going to escape. But then I realized that I was wearing a life preserver. I was able to move myself out from under the boat and I bobbed to the surface with everybody else who was on board. And then later that day, I was just in meditation, receiving a variety of different messages, but I returned to that same lake. However, this time I was in a different vantage point. I was viewing it from the far side of the lake. I was almost maybe in the lake, watching this boat come down. But this time the boat wasn't the same little, almost like a lifeboat that I was in previously. This time the boat was a big, grand, tall ship with masts and these big sails. And the boat had this beautiful golden aura to it that was sparkling gold. It was just the most magical boat I had ever seen. And as it approached and was building speed and hit the ramp, it just gently glided into the air and it sailed peacefully over the beautiful lake. And when I considered both of these vantage points, both of these experiences with this beautiful lake, it became apparent to me that this was a message about two different realities, or perhaps two different timelines, and the shifts that humanity is going through right now. And so there is a timeline where we're going to experience a jolting leap off of the stone. And for me, the stone harkened back to old structures, things that have been in place for hundreds and thousands of years. Things that we are leaving behind. So those old ways of being and living, the old structures, the old hierarchies that need to fall away in this time, that we need to leave in the past. And in the first timeline, we rocket off of it and we're flying through the air and crashing into the water. And although the water is beautiful, the entry into this new beautiful world was tough. It was scary. It was jolting. It was falling out of the boat and into the cold water and not knowing if we were going to make it out alive. Now, did we make it? We did. We had life preservers on and we bobbed to the surface. And I like to think that when you get to that beautiful lake, you realize that you've landed somewhere beautiful. But to get there was a challenge. And in the other timeline, the boat is grand. It has magic to it. It's ethereal. It's beyond what we are living in our typical 3D life has that magical quality to it, those higher dimensions to it. And it sails so beautifully and so peacefully away from that stone ramp and over the beautiful water. And I like to imagine that it gently touches down on that water and begins to experience the new world with peace and joy and ease. And so as we are watching our world, our reality disintegrate and move into the new world, we're getting rid of our old structures, we're getting rid of things that no longer serve us, things that are meant to stay in the past. We're moving towards a beautiful life of tranquility and peace and love. There are two ways to get there. There are two timelines. And I think if you are focusing on the fear and if you are focusing on everything that is wrong, or perhaps you're maybe trying to cling to the old structures of the past, you're going to crash into the water. And eventually you'll get there and it will be beautiful, but you're going to experience some turmoil. You're going to experience even more fear. You're going to experience that rush of cold water. It's going to be a tricky transition. But if you are focusing on the love in this world, if you are being the love in this world, if you are the type of person who, acknowledges what's happening, acknowledges the hard things that are happening, but doesn't let it hold you down, you don't let it carry you in your heart. And then you go out and you be the light and you be the love in the world. You smile to the person in the grocery store. You hold the door. You tell someone that you appreciate and love them. Those little micro things that you are doing on your everyday life and your everyday world that you can do to make the world a better place are immeasurable. You are adding to the love and the joy in this world, and that is what's going to propel us forward. And when you focus on love and gratitude, and you focus on being the best that you can be, being that light for someone else in this world that feels heavy, I like to believe that you're going to have an easier transition into this new world. And I think a lot of my messages have been about taking a leap of faith and moving forward. And I feel like it's so resonating in where we are in humanity and how we are moving forward and taking a leap of faith and moving into the new. It's going to be different, but it's going to be so beautiful. And so if you can be there for someone else, if you can be someone's light, if you can be the joy in this world that feels heavy, even when it feels heavy in your own heart, even if you're carrying anger or fear, it's okay to feel those emotions because they're valid. But then don't go be the person that's angry at the person who, left their shopping cart in the middle of the road. Everybody's having their own experience and they're having their own day. Be the person that puts the shopping cart back. Be the person that smiles at someone even if they're grumpy. You can only control how you are viewing this world and how you are acting in this world. So choose to be of the love and choose to be of the light. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.